Hey y'all, it's your favorite auntie, Mary M.J. Harper, host of Sister to Sister Coffee and Conversations, a space for real women, real talk, and real life. Let me introduce you to my amazing co-hosts, Michelle Colbert, Mimi Lee, Stacy Stiles, Frida Ballard, and Delashawn Bordeaux. Every week, we're sitting down to have honest conversations about love, relationships, healing, faith, business, self care, and everything in between. So grab your favorite cup of coffee, tea, or whatever you're sipping on, and come join the conversation. This is Sister to Sister Coffee and Conversations.
I'm excited to build with women and to just empower women to give them knowledge of things that we've gone through, things that we've researched, things that we've done. It's just an exciting time, and now more than ever is it's great to have women to come together to build each other up and to just love on one another.
Yeah, because we're living in a society and a day and time where we need to bring that back and we need to be a great support to each other. When I thought about putting this show together, I wanted to be able to connect with other women who are where I am, who are going through the things that I've been through, are going through the things that, I'm currently dealing with. Finding support in a community, in a sisterhood, is what we wanted to do. And so I thought it would be a pretty neat idea to get together some of my sister friends who I draw strength from, knowledge, courage, wisdom, and all the things, and bring us together so we can share our real life issues, our journeys, and
Right.
everything that we're facing today. Everything from motherhood to dating, relationships, our faith, our finances. We're going to talk about it all. And y'all, the struggle is real. We didn't just wake up one day and say, "Hey, menopause, how you doing? My name Mary. What we finna do?" Nah.
No, no.
It was not like that. I think my menopause symptoms, I went into perimenopause when I had a partial hysterectomy a few years back. And when I had the partial hysterectomy, I had a great doctor. She had great bedside manner. She walked me through everything that was going to happen up until that partial hysterectomy. And then she closed her office, and nobody told me that I was getting ready to go into menopause early, as a part of having that partial hysterectomy. I started experiencing these different symptoms that I never knew and nobody told me was associated with menopause. And I'm just thinking life is lifing and life is wearing the hell out of me, you know.
Yeah.
Plus, on top of going through menopause, life was lifing,
Right.
going through a tumultuous marriage at that time, raising a teenage daughter, and being a wife, being a mother, operating a business. I could feel the effects of going through menopause. Some women don't recognize that they're in menopause. And so, some of the things that we were talking about, you were talking about how you were at work.
I know I didn't recognize that I was in menopause at the time. I wasn't having like full effects or full things that was going on. It was just random things that was happening, and I went to work, and it was like I was fighting for my life. It was like something on the inside was happening, but nobody on the outside could see it. And I was struggling, and I was struggling to stay awake, and I was fighting to just be present.
Yeah.
And I would get up to go do something in another room, and I'd stand there trying to remember what I did, what I was going in there for. Like, what did I walk in this room for? I didn't pay attention to it, and a nurse was saying to me, "Michelle, I don't see how you getting past all of this. that I'm going through, and we're the exact same age. And I was like, well, I probably am not getting past it. I'm just not dealing with it. And just wants to talk about the hot flashes, the sleepless nights, the anger that sometimes will just come, and then the emotional part that will just happen
out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. Just want to cry. Just crying driving down the road, and like, what is wrong with me? And I'm thinking, am I depressed for something? And I don't have any reason to be depressed. And so that's when, you and I, we started talking more and more about it at work, and I'm like, girl, I'm just itching like crazy.
I know you were talking about the being at work, and just like, I think we were saying like 3 o'clock every day, my head started nodding. Girl, one day I thought I was gonna tear that desk up with my forehead. I just had no energy whatsoever. And I was just praying to God for that next hour and a half, 2 hours to pass, so I could get off of work and I could go home. I need to get me some sleep so I can be refreshed in the morning. And then I get home and get ready to go to bed. And then I'm wide awake. I'm wide awake and I cannot sleep. And I'm up all night. I was at work and I was about to pass out. Now I'm wide awake for no reason. What is going on?
But it really is for a reason. We just hadn't found the remedy to help us through the reason that we're awake. Our hormones, our body is going through so many things, and if you haven't started going through it, keep living.
Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming, and not every woman, goes through the full-blown symptoms of menopause, but quite a few women do, and quite a few women, like myself, try to go through it without anything. I was fighting to just not take anything, no medication, no teas, no anything. I was just trying to fight it, and I'm a very, very active person. And one day I woke up and I could not move. Yeah. This has been within the last few weeks. And I immediately started thinking, with the place that we work, you're always on guard with making sure you take care of yourself and you get your labs drawn. And I'm like, I told my doctor, I was like, you got to do a full panel, because again, I'm not blaming it on menopause just quite yet, because I have no energy. I'm up and down all night long. I work out. I don't eat any fried foods. I am strict to everything that I'm doing, and I cannot drop the weight. I was working out 6 days a week, not on the, not with weights, but I was walking. I was tons of things, very active, and the scale was staying the same.
Yeah.
Did a full panel. Everything was perfect except my hormones. And that explains a lot of what I was going through. The sleepless nights and the weight gain, the itching, the crying, it explained it. And I finally was able to put a name with what I was going through.
Yeah.
Now I'm able to start doing things to try and go through it, because there's no time limit for it to go away.
And, we saw our moms, we saw our aunts go through some changes and some challenges. In their behaviors and their moods and their attitudes and their disciplining, and and me and my sisters were even sitting up talking about the other day about how my mother would break out and do the Florida Evans anytime we didn't want to clean up the house, damn. And we'd be like, Mom, it's so dramatic. But we didn't know. I don't even know if she knew. That's what she was dealing with. And I know that's what it is now, being in that age and having a few of those moments myself, but different things that she would do, and we didn't know that's what it was. But looking back at it now, being in that similar place, I was like, oh my God. And I remember she used to say all the time, you'll understand it better by and by.
Real.
Yeah.
It's real.
So more people are, more women are stepping up, like, me too. I'm here with you. I understand that this is what it is. And it's like we said, we didn't know what it was, or we heard about menopause, but we didn't know about all the things that were associated with it. So what we're dealing with is called perimenopause. That's the phase before menopause when your hormones, especially estrogen and progesterone, start fluctuating up and down all over the place. And that right there, that's why nothing makes sense because we're all over the place. We're floating. We're up 1 minute. We're down 1 minute.
Brain fog.
Brain fog. You're talking about how your ears were itching so bad, and I was like, me too. My ears. I don't know what it is. Why our ears itch? My ears are itching. I go from having night sweats. 1 minute I'm covered up in like four, 4 or 5 blankets on the bed. I got a heated blanket plugged up. I'm snug as a bug in a rug when I go to bed. And then as soon as I get off into a deep sleep, I got a whole attitude and I'm pulling off all these blankets because, I done broke out in a sweat. And we deal with the emotional ups and downs because we deal with a lot of emotional issues. We deal with a lot of mental health situations, that we have to kind of work our way through. And so we have people that love us, that are in our lives, and we just, we're just, at them. And so I think we need to have the conversations sometimes with our significant others, with our kids, with our village. We need to be a little bit more transparent now that we have a name for it. And we're learning that some of these things that made us think we were crazy, we're not crazy.
Right.
We're not crazy. This is a real thing.
And we're not this evil person that this can portray us to be. Because if you do not take control of it and you do not treat yourself and go to your OBGYN or your primary care doctor to see what natural things you can take or what hormonal things you can take, because you can be so nice and the next second you could be a bear.
Yeah.
And it's something that you can't control, but you can control because you have to seek help in that aspect. We are talking about women in dating and how we're moving different.
Yeah.
Dating has become a chore instead of an enjoyment. For a lot of women that I've talked to and for myself, you know. How has dating worked out for you? What is your insight on women moving different? Why do you think we have to move different?
Our past hurt and trauma. Men are moving different, so we have no choice but to move different. We have no choice based on our past experiences but to move different because we don't want to be hurt no more. Because we're not going to just settle for anything and just stick around until you have done us completely dirty that we have nothing left to give. And a lot of us are moving with intention, and a lot of us, that intention looks different. Some of us are moving with intention to be with someone, and if you're not on that level, I'm gonna leave you quickly. Some of us has decided to intentionally be single and decide that we're not going to date at all because we ain't dealing with the bullshit.
To be honest, times have changed and we're moving differently because, number one, we are not our grandparents. I am not my grandmother. I am not my great-great-grandmother. And, I'm just telling you, you had women that endured certain situations. You knew Mr. Charlie had a wife and some kids. You know what I'm saying? But, Mr. Charlie made sure your bills was paid, you was cool, you was quiet, you wasn't creating no problems. I want Miss Clarice to stay happy and keep Mr. Charlie because, see, she got to deal with that part of Mr. Charlie I don't have to deal with, And so there were women, and there still are, women who have found themselves in a situation where they okay, honey, you keep them. I ain't even trying to break up your house. I just need them to come by on the 1st and the 15th on payday.
Wait, who was that say?
I'm going to make sure he come home.
Monday through Thursday, I got him.
Yeah.
And then Friday through Sunday.
Yes, on the weekend, yes.
But
that's exactly what that is. Look, I don't know exactly what it is.
But then you have situations where you have women who, unfortunately deal with some self-esteem issues. Not like all her songs, but Betty lost me. Betty.
Yeah, Betty, right.
She lost me when she said in the song, A piece of
of
man
man.
is better than no man. The devil is a lie.
I rebuke that.
I rebuke that in
Some-
I
Jesus'
don't want a
name.
some
piece of
people
nothing
will
but
say they
a
would-
piece of candy.
Yeah,
No.
but that's how they are. You know, so we have some women who are, you know, a piece of man is better than no man at all. And then some women out here that are mall chicks and they like going to Build a Bay. You know,
Not
they
Build a Bay.
Not Build a Bay.
Okay, then Build a Bay.
You like what Gerard do for you from this aspect. Gerard, you know, he likes to take you out to dinner, and you know he open doors for you, and he texts you good morning beautiful, and you know all of those things. But that's about all you can get.
Right?
You know, like all these different qualities, and you can't get them in one person. So people find themselves at Build a Bay. I'm just gonna make me a man out of all 14 of y'all.
Right.
And see,
I went on a date with someone and I was very transparent. He wasn't all of what I used to be accustomed to. So I was getting away from all that. Like, he ain't got to have the good hair and the light skin and be so tall and he drive this and he you know, he smell like this. Now, the smelling part is non-negotiable. But he don't have to have all of the requirements that I once used to have. So I'm going to open myself up to be a little bit more vulnerable. So we proceed to go on a date, and he didn't order his own food. He ordered for me. I told him what I was going to get. He asked me, "What are you going to get?" And I said what I was going to get. So he ordered it. Well, he eats off of my plate.
Oh.
Number one. If you didn't have the money to go out on a date, why did you ask me out? Because I'm not going to pay.
understandable.
I'm not going to pay. And if you didn't
Understandable.
have the money, why ask me out? I think I'm about to go home.
I was gonna say I'm too immature for that.
So to me, I was turned off instantly. I was
would've
turned.
been
So
now,
was
because
I
want y'all to
overreacting
say, no.
and being too
No.
judgmental? Because he did open my door. He did, you know, he's always been attentive. He called me every day. He texted me every day. Was I overreacting or was I within reason?
No, this is part of the issue we have with a lot of people is that men feel like we only want money, but truth is they don't have enough money to actually take us out. We saw the conversation about what's better, Applebee's, Cheddar's, whatever. Well,
Right.
if you eating off my plate, it probably don't matter where we go eat at. We can go to Applebee's, Cheddar's, and that too, and you still gonna eat off my plate. Do you have the money and the finances to take me anywhere before you even determine where I can eat?
That's the point.
Like, I need you to have the money. And when I say I need you to have the money, when I go sit down and eat, I'm not going to go out there and be like, oh, I want steak, potatoes, and this. But I might want to have a drink or two to help me loosen up. And I don't need to be sitting there on ad. Oh, gosh, you just made me remember something. Good Lord. I hate the dating topic. But I don't want to feel like I'm on edge because I don't know if you can pay for it or not. Now, what I thought about is I once went on a date with a guy, and I remember he made the joke. We were at Pluckers. And he made the
I
joke,
love Pluckers.
what if my card don't go through? Well, damn it, guess what happened when it was time?
It didn't go through. He already knew.
Baby, you're talking about somebody who was so embarrassed. I was like, oh, my God.
What did you do?
I ain't gonna lie, I paid that ticket. We got to go drop me off at home because what else is there
You
to
had
do?
to pay it. What are you gonna do?
And-
Well, I know I
Baby.
ended the date early, you know.
I would have too.
And
when
he
said
was
bye.
like, I was hoping that we could have went and listened to live music. And
y'all gonna go hear
you
Elmo
ate
and
off
Friends.
my plate, and then we going downtown Arlington to listen to some live music.
Uh-huh.
No,
You was going to hear
PP.
Sesame Street, baby, because he's still a baby.
No, I ended it and I went my way. He continued to pursue me, but I ended up, and I did the right thing because typically I just ghost you and not say nothing. But I told him, this is not going to work for me, and he wanted to know why, but I didn't feel obligated to tell him why. With that being said,
I'm trying not to laugh.
was I wrong?
No. We should have, as women, we should have standards, and we should not be willing to lower our standards. I will say there are two different type of women out here. There's our age group who we know how to go on a decent date, but we expect you to pay for the date. Right. And then it's this new generation who can't afford to go on dates as women, And so they just go for food or whatever else. So what we're having is an issue and a mashup of two different types of people. We have men going after the wrong women because now y'all want these younger women. Well, these younger women, they got higher standards that don't make sense. They want to go to Ruth Chris on the first date. They only going to take 2 bites, and you better pay for that. They Uber, they clothes, they hair, they daycare for all 5 of their kids and everything else. Whereas we have standards, but they're standards that make sense. And unfortunately, men, because they are so blinded by the younger generation, they still don't even see what we have to offer. Which I think brings up another question.
That's
it's
another
the
question.
age. That's that age. Like, are we in that middle
Should
age?
we date?
Where
Is it okay to date younger versus older? Or
I
older
am not
men?
dating nobody younger than me. I am not. Paw Paw, bring your cute self here, Paw Paw.
But are older men moving in the
Pause.
way that they
Girl,
should
right,
be
Paul?
moving?
Look,
but
no.
older men are not moving the way they
No,
should be moving.
no
gonna
age.
tell you-
It's no age.
I'm just gonna tell you
Oh
the truth.
boy.
My thing is,
MJ, you like a YN?
all I'm gonna say is don't knock it till you try.
I can't do it.
I'm
You
just-
know
wait,
what
wait,
though?
wait,
I once dated someone back when I was getting ready to go to Louisiana. I did date someone. He was younger than me, about 10 years. Had his stuff together.
Yeah.
But he just did one wrong thing, and I'm not gonna lie, it just made me say no. And I'm not gonna lie, he was probably the best one that I probably should have stayed with.
Yeah.
But his age just threw me off. And he had already said he wasn't even trying to be settled down to 30. I'm gonna be 40 next year, he'll be 30 next year. Bruh, well, it ain't gonna work.
It's
I wasn't
not.
gonna wait all those years on you
Right.
to finally decide you wanted to be settled down.
Right.
So I just stick with my pawpaws. You know, sometimes you bypass.
Because oftentimes when you
parent
date an
grandparent.
older person, they're not focused on, we get those 10 questions. What's your favorite color?
Oh God.
If I tell one more person with my car, look, let me tell I've been quiet. Let me just say that. I need to, can I go back just a pinch of taste? I just need to go back a
Mary
pinch of
said she
taste.
tired of being good.
So I
hearing
don't know
those
why y'all
questions.
expect that I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna be cool. You know,
Yeah.
we tell it like it is here. So let me tell you how it is. If I got to deal with the same foolishness from Granddaddy that I got to deal with from Jaquan, but Granddaddy got some equipment that's been out of service or on the lease for a while,
Yes.
and Jaquan,
His service, he's up to date. He's
my
tuned
God.
up.
Today.
My God, today, I'm just saying.
let me
if
be
you,
real.
But if you put me in a position where, and I got to deal with the same foolishness, cause see, Pawpaw is set in his ways. Pawpaw don't want you to touch his stuff a certain kind of way. Pawpaw want to put a curfew on you. Pawpaw want to go to bed at 7:30, 8 o'clock. He ain't going to no concert. He ain't going to no movies. He ain't going on no trips.
But Pawpaw got that Tricare for life.
But
And it really
Baby.
determines what kind of pawpaw you got. Cause listen,
Baby.
I like them older, and baby, I ain't had no disappointment
Yeah.
yet.
I'm gonna tell you at this age,
Listen, these pawpaws.
yes, I'm gonna tell you, Michelle will tell you at this age, a man that got Tri-West, he can talk to me any day
Or
of the
Tricare
week.
for
I don't
life.
care
Oh,
if
cause
he
that's
got-
military. I ain't,
Baby,
hold on. Now, if you was
if-
a military, no, I got a boyfriend. Never mind.
Yes, if he got one tooth,
JK.
he can come talk to me.
Oh, it's true.
As long as he got Tricare, Tri-West. My
Oh,
God,
it's
today
true.
you just need somebody to show you how to take advantage of your benefits. All right.
That's for real. Because time, that was kind of, it wasn't that I was shushed, it was that I wasn't talked to. It wasn't that I was talked to about things that caused me to have an inner feeling about myself that I couldn't talk to somebody, that my voice was silenced, that I couldn't talk about the things that I was going through or the things that bothered me. So I held them in. And I didn't, seek things to comfort it. It just blew up because I am a survivor of domestic violence from my ex-husband. And I believe that situation saved my life, even though he tried to take it. It caused me to deal with those things that I kept bottled up along with what he did. It caused me to deal with it. And so I learned my voice. I saw my voice as I talked to a therapist across from me, I saw that I had a voice, if that makes sense. I saw that I had something powerful within that I needed to get out. And it wasn't just to help survivors, but it was to help women speak out about things.
Right.
I think for me, thinking back on the experiences of being shushed, I'm a PK.
No, come on, PK.
And
Hey, twin.
hey, twin. And my dad pastored for 40 years, and so back home, it was a family ministry. My brothers, were over the music department. I was in the choir, from the time I was 13. I was on the praise team. I was over the children's ministry. At one point, I was working the youth and young adult ministry.
Baby, you was in there.
Mary was the church.
But see, this is the thing, though. When it comes to being shushed, to do the work was an expectation in our household.
Right.
Yeah.
However, the shushing came when it was time for the accolades, when it was time for the acknowledgments. I did all those grand things that I just told you I did without an official title, without it, so basically, there were times where there was folks, in those positions that didn't know, wasn't doing nothing.
But they were getting everything.
But they were getting the praise for it. They were getting the acknowledgments. They were getting the accolades. And I was supposed to sit in the back and be quiet and just keep to myself that, this was my idea, or, this was my vision.
Right.
This was my work of or labor of love. And, I would sometimes watch my dad get up and say, we want to give, thanks for Sister So-and-so. She did such an awesome, amazing job. And I'll be sitting back there thinking to myself,
Baby, what about me?
It wasn't even a what about me. For me, because I knew at that point it was just expectation.
Yeah.
It was more so, all right then. That's
Well,
what
let
she
her
did.
do it.
You understand me?
Get somebody else to do
But
it.
as long as I lived
That's
in
what
my
we doing.
daddy's house,
That's what you had to do.
that's what I had to do.
So since we talk about what that looked like for us, I want us to kind of dig just a little bit about maybe like 2 or 3 minutes and talk about what they did to us. Now if you don't want to share, I understand, because I know my girls here, the domestic violence.
No, I'm very open.
But I want people to understand what that actually does to now me. Everybody know it. Live, hey y'all know me. I'm crybaby sometimes. Okay, when I get my feelings, I'm a Scorpio by nature. Don't judge me. Okay, but for me, it took me a very, very long time to find me. You understand what I'm saying? In my early 40s, and it took me a long time to find who I was.
Right.
Who is Frida? I'm free to speak out. No matter if you want to hear my mouth or not, baby, I'm gonna say it,
And better.
and I'm gonna say it proud.
Okay.
And I dare for anybody to shush me.
Yes.
'Cause I worked hard for this voice that I have. And not only did I discover who Frida was, but I also discovered what I stand for. And that leads me to, we was talking about my nonprofit. I have a nonprofit organization for speaking out, or basically bringing awareness to the unhoused. Okay. But one of the experiences that I experienced while I was coming to Life Journey Unfolding, which is the name of my organization, was that I looked into the eyes of someone that was unhoused. And I seen the same emptiness, the same pain, being overlooked for years. It's like, I don't know if you've ever been there, but it feels like you're empty on the inside.
Yes.
You put on each and every day, we put on these masks to go to these people's jobs and make this money, and honey look flashy and beautiful, and all that stuff is nothing but a mask, because you don't understand on the inside
What you been going through?
how dark, how hurt, how destroyed I feel.
Yes.
All because I was shushed. So for me, that's something deep. And I want people to understand that even with you just speaking, us being on this podcast, or walking across the hallway, or your gestures, or just because you're in a bad mood, or you don't want
Yes.
to speak, or you look at somebody nasty, I want people to understand that is a sign of shushing. Because you never know what that person is going through, what that person is thinking. You understand me? I've had some dark moments, some very dark moments, where I wanted to take my own life. But God,
But
instead
God.
me.
Yes.
On the low level, it made me timid. I just learned to be quiet about everything. I learned to make it easier so I don't cause issues in other people. On the getting more deeper into it, it affected the way I dated. I've dated men who have shushed me completely. One in particular that I went back and forth with for 10 years. And I mean, when you shush somebody and you have been shushed for so long, you allow yourself to accept and take things that you don't want to take. So, I mean, this is going to be my first time saying this, but I've been shushed into an abortion because I thought I was standing up for myself, but I couldn't fight that fight no more of saying, you know, this is what I want. Yes, you said this is what we would have, and you took that from me. I want to have it. After a while, I became quiet and said, I'm going to give you what you want and just let this end so that I don't have to deal with it. I shushed myself into accepting domestic violence and saying, you know what, if I just do this better, then you won't do this. I was almost shushed out of my position. Let's be real. I run a nonprofit, and I had a man who I was so used to, I had a mentality that if I wasn't sexually assaulted, I could handle anything else. The mindset is very wrong when you look at it now. But when you've experienced one traumatic experience, sometimes something a little bit easier, seems like you can just go through that and I'll be okay. So I accepted domestic violence as long as I wasn't being sexually assaulted. And so I continued to just accept it. I was getting punched for no reason. I mean, you name it. I don't want you to have an MPO. I want you to be in this job. Let's be real. I work for an airline now, and the only reason I'm out there at that airline is because that exact man. I was living out of state, happy where I was. And was asked to come back. And, you know, the more I fought to say, hey, I want a relationship to where we could see if it'll work at a distance because of where I am here, he was adamant, and I allowed him once again to shush me and bring me back to where I didn't want to be. To even come into an industry that I didn't have interest in going back into. I'm thankful for where I am. But my heart was always in one area, in my nonprofit and helping others. And so I would say, and remind you, this is just over the last few years. Many people have wondered, why'd you come back from Baton Rouge, baby? That was behind a man. And allowing myself to believe in love and a portion of that domestic violence relationship that I had not fully let go of and was still allowing it to shush me for the sake of having that person. So I can't lie, this is just even new to me for the last few years. I'm back in therapy.
I know that, girl. Me too.
I have a therapist who says, you know
Shout out to Nicole, girl, because you know, girl.
Listen, it's sad when your therapist be
It's
like,
so important.
I know when you come back, you done make that wrong decision one more time.
Okay.
I have to go back and tell her, I'm tired of making that decision.
Yeah.
After a
That's
while,
right.
like, people don't
That's
understand
right.
that I'm tired of making the
That's
decision.
right. Yeah.
And I had to tell somebody, I don't trust myself right now. Leave me alone. I don't trust I was okay. I learned every time that I went back that I wasn't.
That's that
Until
trauma
I finally
bonding.
said yes, until
Yeah,
finally I
trauma
said, damn it,
bonding.
I am tired.
Yeah.
And I learned I was really tired because he came back one more time. And I was like, I don't like you for real now. I don't know how it happened when
Baby,
it
you got to get
happened.
on up out of here.
I was
Yeah.
like, I ain't feeling this. I was like, you don't like what I do. I'm not I'm not willing to change that. And I'm not gonna lie, when we got done talking that day, I was like, whew.
You felt good, didn't it?
I let everything go.
Yes.
Look,
It was a release.
I have to say, you know, I was sitting here like, oh my gosh, she was all in my car this week.
Girl, not the car.
Because I was in my car, and this, you know, one person I used to be involved with, he's been crossing my mind a bit lately. And I've been in the car, in the shower, this, that, or the other, saying to myself, I don't know, if I call them, then maybe such and such and such.
Girl, no.
That would be the trick
If
right
I
there.
call them, then, you know,
That's
and then
the enemy.
I sit there and I say to myself,
The big one.
now what in the world? It was just like something stepped out of me and was having a conversation with me and said, why in the world would you call that man when you know?
No, damn well. Let's go ahead and get Uncle damn well.
You know. You know he was ignorant. You know what he
It
was
ain't no change.
You know what you went through with him. What are you calling him for? And I sat there outside my body, and in that moment, I prayed. And I was like,
Good.
God,
That's good.
deliver me from the things
That's good.
I know I need to be delivered from, but don't want to be.
Yes.
That's good.
That's a good prayer.
And be honest with myself. You know,
Yes.
Lord, I need you to deliver me from that man. Now, I ain't seen this man about 2-3 years. I ain't seen him about 2-3 years. That's all I'm going to say. But that take you right back into shushing,
It
though,
is.
because you knew what he did last time.
And you should
Right.
And somehow
There it
you
is. You
shush
shush
yourself.
yourself.
Sometimes we
Kill
shush
yourself.
We need to get as mad at ourselves
That we do with other
as
people.
we do for at other people.
Take accountability. But I'm
Yeah.
gonna go into that in just a second. Go ahead, baby. I want to hear that because I want to go in there, honey. Let me tell you something about that. Because I learned from that. So but go ahead. I want you to tell me what they look
My
like. to
my shushing was at a young age with my dad. He didn't choose me. He chose me at times, but not as a daughter father should. And so that caused me a lot of internal grief that I hid, that I never spoke to anyone about.
Right.
Not even my closest friends, not even my mother. It's kind of like you pretend that you're okay.
Yeah, that
And-
mask. There go that mask.
So I wore a mask, and then in the blink of an eye, he was murdered.
Oh my.
So therefore, everything that I thought would happen with the father-daughter was taken away.
Oh my God.
And so it was things that I never dealt with. I carried it into relationships. I didn't know who I was because I defined myself by him not accepting me.
Right.
So I never felt good enough for anything. And the moment he was murdered, my life stopped. I was 16. And my life stopped. And I carried that up until I turned 53. And I am 54. I carried it. I met different people that I let define me because I had no voice. I didn't know who I was.
Oh my
Right.
God.
But who the Son sets free
Free
It's
indeed.
free indeed.
is
Yes,
truly
ma'am.
free indeed, and that's who set me free.
Oh my
But I
God.
had to walk through things. I had to face some tough nights. I had to face some lonely days.
Woo!
But I
Girl,
had
come on
to
with
face it.
Yeah.
Because what you don't face, you don't heal from.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, I
That's
love
it. Where
that.
you
I
run
love
from, you
that.
run from. You can't heal from.
You
what
repeat
run
it.
from. Yeah.
You
that's
repeat it. You repeat it. You continue to go through life, just going through life, and you're truly not living. You're
No.
truly not voiced. You're truly just existing.
Yeah.
And once I knew and God showed me exactly who I was created in his image. And so nobody can take that from me. Nobody can define who I am because he created me. He created me for the time is now. So my voice has always been there. I just didn't
You need
recognize
to
my
wake
own
up.
voice.
Come on, wake
I
up.
didn't recognize it. I
Yes,
didn't
ma'am.
know it was there. I didn't see it. I didn't hear it. And now that I hear it,
Girl, you can't
love it.
stop.
I
Yeah.
love it.
There it is.
Yeah,
You can't stop.
absolutely.
There
It
is.
makes me think I'm writing this book.
Mhm.
You know, I'm writing this book about my life. And, you know, one thing about when you sit down and you do a project like that, it causes you to look back at your life and reflect. And, you know, I prayed and I was like, okay, God, while I'm on this journey of writing this book, I need you to do a couple of things for me. And the first thing is, I need you to reveal me to me.
Yes.
You know, show me through my eyes, through this human flesh, this human spirit, this carnality of mine. Show me who I am. Reveal me to me. And then after you reveal me to me, show me what you see.
Yeah.
Oh, I
yeah,
love
let
that.
me see.
because there's a difference.
It is very.
You know, and when I pray that prayer, sometimes you got to be careful what you pray for. You know, because God will do
Exactly
what you ask Him to do.
And you didn't expect it to
You
come
know,
that way.
and you didn't expect it to come that way. And I prayed and I asked God to reveal me to me. And I'll be honest, you know, I started looking at things from when I was young all the way up to yesterday. And when I looked, I was like, I was a wretch undone.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was something else.
Yeah, ma'am.
I was something else. Sometimes people look at me and they say, "Oh, Miss Mary, I can tell back in the day you was back in the day."
Girl, I let 'em have it.
I'm still something else.
Honey.
I still. What the song say? Please be patient with me.
Okay. No.
Because God is not through with me yet. But
No, he's
when
not.
when I saw that and thinking about the shushing, you know, I had to do some research. And I was molested as a child, 8 years old, by a young man in my church. And I knew at that time, if I came forward and I told William Harper what happened to
He
me,
was gonna get
It
him.
was gonna be some.
Okay.
I would probably not have a daddy. I knew that at a young age. And so I shushed myself.
Yeah.
And I shushed that experience and what happened to me. And I shushed that for 40 years.
My God.
And I got a chance to tell my daddy 30 days to the date before he died what had happened to me. And he said to me, it wasn't your place to protect me.
No.
It was my place to protect
It's
you.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And he said, but you're right. If you had said something, if you had told it, no, we wouldn't have the life that we have. No, we wouldn't have the things that we have.
Yeah.
Because that story would have went a whole nother way.
Sure would've went.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So sometimes people shush and they're made to feel that their trauma, you know, their circumstances, their situation, what they're facing, even though they're dealing with the demons from it, they're dealing with the turmoil and the sleepless nights
Yeah.
and the you know open wounds from it, but they're shushed for the sake of others.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes, especially in the black community, with black women in the black family, we told what go on in the house, stay in the house. You can't tell nobody this. Do you know what this to do this? And my thing with my folks or with my family was like, you got to think about how it's gonna affect the church,
How it's gonna look.
how it's gonna look. You know, other kids was allowed to do what they wanted to do and Joan and clown, doing vacation Bible school and stuff, or on the retreat, but we had to sit there and be model citizens. I got out of line one day and then the lady sat there and told my mother, you need to get your daughter in check because she is supposed to be an example to all the other young people. Well, I'm the same age as they
Well, hell, I'm just being a kid.
I'm just being a kid too, but there was a different expectation, and so that was my greatest experience throughout my life with shushing. And when you want to know when I finally got free from that, when I packed up my stuff and I left the city,
So you had to leave.
and I moved to Dallas.
Oh, so you had to leave.
Yeah.
Leave to get your voice.
Yes, because in St. Louis they called me Tony. You know, that's what everybody knew me as, Tony or Tanisha.
Hey, Tony.
You know, but I came here. Everybody, what's your name?
Mary. Mary. Yes.
That
Now,
was good.
I don't have any biological kids, but I do have, through marriage, I have a stepdaughter. And they've been in my life since she was 7, 8 years old. Beautiful baby. Shout out to my baby Lee. Hey, girl. And I found that I was doing some of the same things. You know, I'm turning my ear. Oh, girl, she ain't talking about shit. Oh, girl.
Yeah.
What does she want? Shushing.
Yep.
Oh, Lord, go over there and get somewhere and sit down, girl. Shushing. And she's now 19. She'll be 20 in November. And I found myself saying, girl, stop shushing that damn girl. Listen. So it surprised me because one day, I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, she called and she was talking, about a relationship or whatever she's in. And instead of sitting there being like, oh shit, I ain't got time. Oh, she ain't talking. Oh Lord, it's okay. Why don't you just do this and go ahead on? I actually listened.
Right.
And I found myself in a position where we was having a conversation.
Yes.
You understand me?
Yes.
It wasn't no, you do this and da 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 da,
Yes.
yada yada yada. It was a conversation.
Yes.
It was a, mama, this is what's going on. I was like, well, child, this sounds like this to me. Well, mama, this is how it make me feel, and it made me feel good.
Yes.
Because I'm no longer shushing
Listen.
her,
Yeah.
but I'm listening.
Yes.
Same thing in my marriage. Now, honey, y'all
Now, that's
been
where I'm
married.
struggling at.
Okay, it's
Debating.
hard.
Yeah.
But let me say this: sometimes you can shush your mate. Turn it off, or something within you is arising because you don't want to. You're in your feelings. You don't want to hear, so you kind of separate yourself from your mate. But I found that even though it may hurt, what you have to say to me,
Ooh,
it
this
also
conviction I'm
wakes,
feeling right now.
baby. It also wakes up
Yes.
the dead in me
Yes.
because
Yes.
I'm not perfect.
Yes.
I make
We all
mistakes, honey. I got some growing to do. I got some learning to do. And you are the person that makes me better. So
Yes.
therefore, I need to listen
Yes.
to what you have to say to
Yes.
me,
Right.
regardless of whether I like it or not.
Yes.
Okay?
You should
Because
listen.
I know that you have my best interest at heart.
Yeah.
So when it's from God, that's what you look. That's how you.
That's
look
how
at it.
you look at it.
You have my best interest at heart, so I listen, even though it's hurting right now. I still got a Band-Aid right here I can grab and patch it on
Yes.
up because I know it's the
Yes.
love that patches it up and heals it. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
But you can still be the sure. I can just turn it off, but I don't have to. But see, that would make sure relationship grow. We'll talk about that on one of y'all episodes. I think we're gonna get into that.
Yes.
All that
Yeah.
on how I thought,
Yeah.
I thought
But
it
to
was
touch
you.
on what you said with that, the way I learned how not to be the shusher, it took a lot of discipline, and it took a therapist to help me take a look at myself.
I was getting to that. Yeah.
She brought things to me, so now I can truly say, and she can vouch for it, you can come to me and I'm gonna listen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what I think later, but I'm going to listen to
Yeah.
you because I don't have to always be right, and I don't always have to speak. I don't. I don't always have to, because oftentimes most of the time, we just need somebody to listen to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
We know what we need to do, but we need to get it out and let somebody else listen.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, before we close out tonight's show, we want to thank one of the businesses that helps support Sister to Sister Coffee and Conversations. Millie's Phenomenal Photography specializes in church photography, videography, family sessions, birthdays, baby showers, anniversaries, and more. Professional, reliable, purpose-driven. From kingdom moments to life's biggest celebrations, they help capture memories that last a lifetime. Call or text 214-502-2918 for booking and pricing information. Millie's Phenomenal Photography. Your vision, their passion, memories that last. Calling all young bosses, creators, dreamers, and future CEOs. Pay It Forward Projects proudly presents the Kidpreneur Expo happening Saturday, June 13th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Otis Farr Community Center in Pantego, Texas. Young entrepreneurs ages 5 to 24 are invited to showcase their businesses, build confidence, network, and grow. Vendor spaces are only $35. We're also looking for local dance and step teams, poets, and a young DJ ready to showcase their talents live during the expo. Don't just come support these young people with words, support them with your pockets too. Shop with them, encourage them, and invest in their future. Registration ends May 30th or when spaces are filled. For more information or to register, call 682-701-0576. Bye for now. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Sister to Sister Coffee and Conversations. See you next week.